That was Joe Kwan reporting. You know, I think I just realized I need something at Target. Thanks for watching News 4 at 4. News 4 at 5 starts right now.
Right now on News 4 at 5, taking action. The lawsuit just filed against the Buffalo Catholic Diocese. Why a man says predator priests are putting the public in danger.
Keeping close eye on a warm-up into the weekend and some limited weekend rain chances. Latest coming up.
Plus, murder, robbery, and drug trafficking. Those are the charges filed against 12 alleged gang members. It was a massive bust. News 4 at 5 starts right now.
Live in high definition, this is Western New York's news leader. Now, News 4 at 5.
A Buffalo man is suing the Catholic Diocese of Buffalo, claiming church leadership covered up sex abuse of children, specifically alleged abuse by Father Dennis Ryder. This lawsuit was filed in state Supreme Court today. Good evening, everyone. I'm Don Postles. Jackie is off tonight.
And I'm Christy Kern. The man who filed the suit is an abuse survivor. News 4's Jen Shantz is hearing from one of his attorneys. Jen?
Christy, Father Dennis Ryder, who was not on the list of 42 accused priests released by the diocese back in March, was put on administrative leave that same month following abuse allegations from this plaintiff, 33-year-old Matthew Golden. 3 months later, Ryder returned to ministry, having been cleared by the Diocesan Review Board. That, in part, Golden's attorneys say motivated this legal action. Now, I spoke with Father Ryder moments ago. He maintains he is innocent and says, quote, "I have never abused any child." Golden alleges he was sexually abused by Ryder in the late 90s at Our Lady of Perpetual Help Parish in Buffalo. According to the lawsuit, several years before that alleged abuse in 1992, the diocese received a letter reporting Father Ryder allegedly sexually abused a 6-year-old boy at a parish in Lackawanna. The suit claims the diocese, and I quote, failed to warn the public of the risk posed by Father Ryder's access to children. Here's Golden's attorney.
Mr. Golden seeks to gain nothing from this lawsuit. What it seeks to do is to disclose from church officials what they knew and when they knew it about the offenders in the diocese. We now know there are more than 80 credibly accused offenders in this diocese.
Now, Golden is seeking money through the Independent Reconciliation and Compensation Program, a victims fund run by the Buffalo Diocese. A spokesperson for the Buffalo Diocese says they have received this lawsuit and will respond appropriately. It has 20 days to do so. Again, I spoke with Father Ryder tonight. He maintains he is innocent. Jen Shantz, News 4.
We stand before you today pledging that we are going to reclaim the east side of Buffalo for the many good and decent, peaceful and law-abiding citizens that reside here.
11 alleged East Side gang members are under arrest, and authorities are still looking for one more. They say many of the suspects operated out of the Town Garden apartments that are located at the corner of Jefferson and Clinton.
And as News 4's Chris Servatas tells us, the charges range from drug trafficking to robbery to murder. Chris?
Don, U.S. Attorney J.P. Kennedy says those arrested are members of the CBL-BFL gang, which he says was formed in 2009. He says their violence and intimidation even spread outside the east side to places like the Walden Galleria and the Chippewa district. That said, Kennedy told us they operated chiefly out of the Town Garden housing complex, that is where many of the gang members lived. He says some of the units were used to store guns and drugs. One of the suspects, 22-year-old Delvon Curry, is charged with 2 murders, one from December 2015, one from January 2017. 20-year-old Laurel Watkins is also charged in the 2017 murder.
There were seniors in this community that were absolutely terrified. They didn't even want to leave their homes. They didn't want to walk to the corner store. They didn't want to go across to the plaza and do their banking.
What we've done, we're going after the worst of the worst, not just the gang members, but the people, the shooters in the gang and the enforcers in the gang. And those are the ones that we are taking out. So we're taking out the most violent gang members. The people, as was said earlier, in the Town Gardens can sleep a little easier tonight.
Now, one of the 12 who were indicted has not been arrested by police, and they're looking for your help. We will put his picture on this monitor behind me. Take a good look at it. They're looking for 23-year-old Rashad Rose. If you see him, you are asked not to approach him, but call 911. Chris Horvat, it's News 4.
A North Tonawanda man has admitted to hitting a man in a motorized wheelchair with his truck, then driving away. 34-year-old Mark Hicks has pleaded guilty to leaving the scene of an incident. It's a felony charge. Hicks hit Kevin Sheridan on Vulcan Street in February. Sheridan was seriously hurt and spent several weeks at the hospital. His wheelchair was also destroyed, but an anonymous donor later replaced it. Hicks faces a maximum of 4 years in jail. He'll be sentenced October 11th.
A taxi ride took a turn when the driver and 2 passengers were taken into custody. The Erie County Sheriff's Office says 28-year-old Devon Moore from Buffalo illegally parked on Pearl Street. Deputies say he had 10 active suspensions on his license. They say he also had marijuana and an outstanding warrant. Deputies also say his passengers, Shatik Elliott and Edward Robinson, were both arrested for having outstanding warrants. Here we go. The Buffalo Bills taking on the Chicago Bears tonight, the final preseason game of this season.
It is the last chance for many players to make an impact on the field. Sports director Josh Reed joins us live from Soldier Stadium in Chicago with the very latest. Josh, good evening.
Hey there, play well on Thursday and you have a chance to keep your job. When Saturday rolls around, that's when the 53-man rosters will be set. Of course, a lot of the starters won't be on the field tonight, so you're going to see a big group of Bills players who have a chance to make an impact and capture one of those final roster spots. Head coach Sean McDermott described exactly what goes into making the cuts.
Yeah, that's one of the toughest parts of the job, honestly. It's, you get to know these guys, you build relationships, which are key, and you care about them, and you hope those relationships continue regardless if they play here or this is their last stop, or hopefully they play somewhere else and their career continues. But, that's one of the more challenging parts of the job, and it makes it very real, when it comes in about, a little less than a week or around a week now, so.
Still no official word on who's going to play at quarterback tonight, but I can tell you this. A big group of the Bills starters just hit the field, and I don't expect to see any of those guys play in tonight's game. They're actually almost getting in a little bit of a workout. In that group, quarterback Josh Allen, quarterback Nathan Peterman. Not in that group, A.J. McCarron, so there's a good chance that we may see A.J. McCarron for the entire game against the Bills. We'll have to wait and see until kickoff. Guys, back to you.
Thank you, Josh. Straight ahead in 2 minutes, a moving memorial service for Senator John McCain. How the American war hero is being honored tonight.
And coming up at 5:30, a debate that did not disappoint. We are breaking down the heated showdown between Governor Cuomo and challenger Cynthia Nixon.
We already have a corrupt corporate Republican in the White House. We don't need a corrupt corporate Democrat in Albany. And we can't pick it up. It would be impossible. It's a shame.
This is where game day coverage begins. With the most powerful pregame show you could get. Buffalo Kickoff Live, presented by Aspen Dental. Sunday morning at 11:30, right here on Channel 4.
No matter what the weather, most of us need to get on the road every day and get going. So we need tires that perform under any conditions. No one understands that better than the people at Mavis Discount Tire. At Mavis, we believe nothing builds more confidence while driving than having the right tires and getting them at the right price. So you can confidently handle the road ahead. Mavis Discount Tire, saving people money for over 50 years.
We have leaders in Washington who want to roll back decades of progress, no matter what the cost. This is one of the most challenging times I've ever seen for our country. Andrew Cuomo is the perfect antidote. I've known Andrew for over 20 years. I know he has skills, guts, and experience. Experience to defend New York against the conservative agenda coming out of Washington. We need Andrew's experience more than ever to make sure everybody gets a fighting chance. So vote Thursday, September 13th, to re-elect Governor Cuomo.
I first met James in 5th grade. We got married and had twin boys. But then, one night, a truck didn't stop. But thanks to our forester, neither did our story. And that's why we'll always drive a Subaru.
Lease a new 2018 Subaru Forester for $249 a month for just 36 months.
Tomorrow on News 4 Wake Up, getting ready for the season.
We are live with a preview of everything you can expect when the UB Bulls take the field for their first game of the year.
The state of Arizona said its final farewell to Senator John McCain. He was remembered at a memorial service at his church in Phoenix today.
McCain's body is now on the way to Washington. Mola Lange reports from Capitol Hill.
Today, Arizona offered one last farewell.